Alright. See what I mean? Like, it's like nonstop. Like I said, I enjoy these videos, so I'm willing to do this production. I have to set a list of everything that I need to do, and it's all the way down to wiping the camera lens, charge everything. I have a whole room set up as a studio, and it's kind of set up all the time. The green screens are on, and the lights are kind of just pushed aside. But it's also my workspace too. It's an office and studio. But this stuff is all up all the time, but even setting up the lights is a whole project. Anyway, let's get to it. Got my coffee. I probably shouldn't be drinking this. It's literally 8 p.m. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 7:10 p.m.
7:10 p.m. But I love coffee, and Ross brought this for me hours ago. I just haven't drink it. I became caveman. Welcome back. It's been a minute. I've recorded a lot of videos. I just haven't edited them, so there might be some jumbled, mixed up stuff. But I had a sudden burst of followers on my social media accounts, and all of a sudden I'm feeling insecure and thinking how stupid I look on video, and I started to overthink it. So I took a few weeks off, took a trip, took a vacation, focused on other things, and then here we are. I love doing this, and I don't plan on stopping. I hope that it evolves into a different version of itself. But it is it's a side project, considering I have a full-time job, and I don't even know what I'm trying to do. I'm not really trying to gain followers, or I'd love to just continue to create things, and I really would love people's opinion. I guess following is and subscribing is saying I like you, but I'd love some interaction. I feel I like to create things, and even though even though I'm slightly insecure, I still want to like interact and possibly hear things that I don't want to hear. I mean, I have family members and people that I love that never tell me the things that I want to hear. And so I can handle it. But for some reason, I got a sudden burst of interaction and followers, and I just started to like overthink what I was doing and just took some time off. I mean, I recorded tons of things. I literally have 50 hours of video, like 50 hours of different things that I've recorded and all these reactions to videos that I've watched. And I'm just like frozen. Like I don't know. Like I just don't, I'm completely inspired, but I'm just stuck. It's like the hardest thing to even explain. And like I said, I've recorded tons of things, but I just haven't edited them. I haven't felt like doing it, I guess. And I'm anxious to do it. Like I'm anxious to get this YouTube page like filled with more content. I had so much more stuff that I recorded in the past and I lost it all, and I had like a hard drive failure like last year and it just really sucked. And I lost like all this stuff that I recorded from 2 years ago, and I did this like stupid thing, like I took it all off YouTube for some reason. Like I posted like 20 videos and then I took it all off because I don't know, I feel like Prince or something. Like I don't want anybody to see things after they've been there. I think I got like, 100 views, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna remove everything because I just tested that I could do this, and I did it. And I wish I would have left the stuff. It was really great stuff, and of course all of that hard drive completely failed, and I was depressed and lost all that video footage and content that I recorded, and it just sucks. 2023, cheers. So here we are now, and I have this new heavy duty amazing hard drive, and I'm recording all this like stuff. Like I literally have like files and files of just sit downs and recordings, and I just don't feel like editing it. Like I'm in a creative slump. So I figured I would, revisit it all later, and I can still edit it all later. It's not like time sensitive or anything. But, sitting and recording myself and then like watching myself and then like prepping all this stuff, it's like this production that I put myself through, and I like it. Because it's like a job. Like you have to plan it out and get all these things ready, and then the post-production is like just as fun. Like I'm just fascinated by creating something and starting from beginning and then like ending it with like a final product. And sometimes it's not like tangible, but it's like a great piece of art, like I don't know. In my opinion, it's like a piece of art. I've painted and sewn things and drawn things and created things, and my most favorite thing to do is take photos, but really what's going on in my head is getting it out on video. And I've spent my whole life like recording and collecting video chunks of like my family and events, and whenever I would go to family gatherings or milestones for family members, I would see a family member that had a video camera, and I would ask them for a copy of that. And I also had my own video camera, and my grandmother bought me a camera in the 80s when I was like a little kid, and didn't give it to me until the 90s when I was in high school and taking a photography class. But throughout the years, she allowed me to take photos of everything. I like literally documented like everything. And it was expensive. Like we would go to Costco and she'd buy me like a 5 pack of film, 35 millimeter. And I think at first I was like snapping everything. And then I started to like really take things like objects or events or whatever it was. And she gave me all that stuff. So I have like all the negatives, every roll of film that I've ever taken in the form of a 35 millimeter from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s. Like, I got my camera, my first 35 millimeter in 92, and I've been taking photos since. And then in the digital world, I've purchased several cameras over the years. And just now, we have camera phones and we have lots of different like media elements, So I now have, GoPro and Ring cameras that like capture little moments that I archive, and still taking photos and Polaroids and camera phone, and I don't know. My point is, I've spent my whole life documenting moments, and I remember being young and being kind of afraid of the idea of forgetting things. One of my cousin's moms, when I was a kid, she kind of went like crazy in a way. Like, I was only like 8, and I didn't know what like crazy is. I guess she was kind of like a schizophrenic, and I don't know why. But like, I remember my cousin talking about it with me and telling me, and my cousin, living with her grandma, which was not my grandma, it was the other grandma that we didn't share. And her mom was kind of crazy, and I kind of knew her mom when she wasn't crazy, and she was amazing. And then, she was crazy. And so I understood that there was like this craziness that could happen to people, whether it was spontaneous or random or because of something. When I was young, that was kind of like my first fear. I really wasn't into scary movies, so I wasn't a normal kid who was afraid of Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. I mean, I knew who they were. My brother and my cousins liked watching scary movies. I just wasn't really into it, and I wasn't really scared of it. I was more scared of like the unknown. I was scared of like mental illness. I was scared of depression as a kid. Earthquakes, being kidnapped. Those were like the weird things that I was afraid of. I used to I'm still like this, but when I was like 10, I would watch Unsolved Mysteries and different America's Most Wanted and watch these like true crime stories. And I was more fascinated with like serial killers than like fake killers on TV. And I'm not like glorifying it. I didn't like dive into it and like emulate it in any way. Like it's obvious awful. Like I could never kill anybody. But I just wanted to like understand like the mental part of it, like who is Charles Manson, and so I learned about like crime, and I learned about like serial killers, and I would watch those movies and ETV specials or something, who knows. Anyway, like Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy, and there's so many more. The Night Stalker. Like I lived in LA through the Night Stalker. Like I was personally afraid of the Night Stalker because I remember it like was living in one of those shows that I'd watched, and it was like surreal because it like changed how you did things. And I could be wrong. Chime in if you remember. I mean, I wonder if my cousin Christina or my aunt and cousins Irma and Christina and Polo, I wonder if they remember, but I think there was a time when my mom and my brother and I went to Disneyland, And we ended up driving to Buena Park and stayed at my aunt's house after Disneyland instead of driving to the South Bay where we lived, which was only like a 30-minute drive, because my mom was afraid of the Night Stalker. He would like follow women in their car. And then we woke up really early the next day and drove home and got ready for school. But I also think like my stepdad was like, just stay at your sister's house. And we stayed overnight. And it was just weird. I was just like, this is weird. Like we're sleeping on the floor and we live like 18 miles away because my mom's afraid of the Night Stalker. But that's how real it was. Like living in Los Angeles, that's how real it was to deal with the Night Stalker. And I was just, I wasn't fascinated with him, but I watched the movies and I wanted to understand like his story. And I was absolutely terrified. Like that was like my Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger or I don't even know any other like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something, or Mommy Dearest. Mommy Dearest was a pretty scary movie to me when I was a kid. Anyway, so I was just kind of weird. Anyway, I don't know how I got onto this tangent of like talking about me growing up in the 80s, and I think my point is I recorded all this video footage, back to like the other story, the overarching story. I recorded all this video footage and took all these photos of like documenting like my perspective. And now that I'm an adult, and I've been an adult, I think it was always a dream of mine to try to use the photos and videos that I've taken in a creative way, So I hope my YouTube channel is a mix of watching videos and watching pop culture and celebrating pop culture, celebrating the things in life that I liked and my growing up, music and artifacts and just memories, and also like sharing like some of the stuff that I documented too, and creating something that hopefully is entertaining. So cheers to the long stories. Anyway, thank you again. I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't done so, like, subscribe, follow, and enjoy. Usually I would plan this out. Today is a little bit random. I'm just trying to like break back in. I was mentally exited for a minute and haven't been completely inspired to like watch anything. So, I just randomly, tried to like pull something together. So today we're going to randomly watch something random. I know I always say that. I think it's funny. Everything's random. But let's see. Today, I want to talk about, I guess, like a time in my life. Like, when I was 18, even before I was 18, I think I went to my very first nightclub when I was like 15. But I've always liked dance music. And even when I was young, I was like, I'm going to go to nightclubs when I'm an adult. Like, I already was a Madonna fan, and she talked about nightclubs. And then I was like following the nightclub scene in like the 90s with like the Club Kids and Michael Ali. And that's a whole story in itself. If you don't know anything about the Club Kids and Michael Ali, and you should look into that. But I was like a young teen, 13, maybe 12, and I was, just couldn't wait to be 18 because I knew there were certain clubs that you could go to that were 18. And so the very first club I ever went to was a club in Fresno, California. And the club was called, and I went to high school in Fresno for 2 years, and my freshman and sophomore year were in Fresno. And I had a long relationship with Fresno. Like, I love Fresno. And I will tell you more about Fresno eventually, but Fresno was like my second home, or maybe even my first home, depending on how you look at it. But I grew up in Los Angeles, and I had family in Fresno, and I spent a lot of my time in Fresno. And when I wasn't in LA for certain reasons, I was in Fresno staying with family members or my grandmother or something. So, anyhow, when I was about 15, my very first nightclub I ever went to, and I had a fake ID, and it was like my cousin's ID, who is a few years older than me, so it was showing that he was 18. And the club was called Metropolis. It was called Club Metropolis, or maybe just Metropolis, but it was on the corner of Blackstone and Herndon. If you know, you know. Back in that day, there was a Malibu Grand Prix, like a miniature car racing, and video arcade, and a Denny's, and then that nightclub, and there was a couple other things. And I think now there's probably a Starbucks and a Costco. But back in the early 90s, when I was 15, there was a nightclub that was 18 and under. And I don't even know how that even worked. I mean, there was no alcohol. But my point is, I went to this nightclub. I had a fake ID. I was pretending to be 18. Maybe I was 18 and over. 18 and under doesn't make any sense. Anyway, maybe it was 18 and over. But I had a fake ID. I was only 15, and I was at this nightclub, and all I wanted to do was, like, dance. And for the first time, like, I danced in front of, like, my friends. And I thought it was, like, so amazing. Like, I felt so free for the first time. Like, I'm not even sure if I would have ever really danced in front of my friends. I was never in any kind of, like, dance group classes or anything. I did take dance, actually. But we learned, like, the electric slide and stuff. And it wasn't really, like, going to some nightclub. I mean, I've roller skated at Roller Town and ice skated at Icelandia, but never danced with, like, my friends. And even if I went to, like, a party, like, I wasn't going to be dancing. I guess as a kid, my cousins and I would break dance and pop and lock and battle each other with, just some, like, 80s kid shit. But never, like, real dancing. So anyhow, the ADHD is really kicking in today, so my stories are long, and I apologize. First time going to a club, it was Club Metropolis in Fresno, California. I was 15. I had my cousin's ID, pretending to be 18. And my friends and I think we smoked a joint before we went in. And I sat by the wall for a minute and drank my Slurpee. And then this song came on. And when this song came on, I was like, I really like this. I'm going to go out and dance. So I just remember this song by this group called Charm Farm was a big hit at the time. But it reminds me of totally dancing. Dancing at Metropolis. I'm a pretty doll. I wanna be a superstar. Alright, get to the factory. Okay, hang out with Andy. Alright, got my mascara. I'm hot. I wanna dare you to watch. I still like this song. I think it's great. I think I have, like, all these remixes of this too.
is beautiful tonight. All of us are superstars. Yeah, we've come so far. We are beautiful. Alright, 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 alright. Just for a moment, I want everybody's eyes on me. I wanna see it. I wanna show you what I can be. Oh, Studio 54, I'm a disco whore. Gotta get my place in the world. I'm alive, I'm so alive. I'm a pretty, pretty baby doll. Everything is beautiful, alright. Everyone is beautiful tonight. All of us are superstars. Yeah, we've come so far. We are beautiful. Alright, 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 alright.
It's a great song. I don't know if you caught it, but the group is called Charm Farm, and he's like a New York artist. I remember reading about this song in Project X magazine. It's like a club song. I bought the single. I have the regular CD of it. It was just like one of those songs I liked, but going to the nightclub and hearing it in a nightclub for the very first time and being 15, I mean, it was like life-changing for me. Like, it was all I wanted to do after I did this. And even when I was living in Fresno, my friends and I would drive to Los Angeles just to go clubbing because I was like obsessed with like going to the nightclubs. But this group, Charm Farm, they never made anything else after this. And sadly, I think the lead singer, that guy, I think he died. I don't know. I thought I heard about it. Like, later on, I, was like spending some time, and I was in like the club scene and DJing and clubbing and just being like involved. And I was friends and have been friends with several DJs, and I knew the DJ that did a remix for that group, Charm Farm, and I thought he told me that he died. I don't know. You could Wikipedia it. I've never heard another song of theirs. I have like this maxi single that has like some really great versions of the song. And I believe Richard Humpty Vision and Lomar did like a remix. So even like years later, this song came out in a different way, and they really focused on the female vocals, and it was a huge hit. And I remember when I was actually like 18 or 19, going to the Dome or Florentine Gardens in Hollywood and hearing this song and seeing a performance by the female artist that was part of this group, and the guy wasn't there, so I had assumed that it was really her song and not really his. But I think if you hear the whole album, you realize Charm Farm is this guy leading the album and she was backup. And I don't know. So Richard Humpty Vision, if you're watching this and if you have a moment to reply, like, what happened to Charm Farm? And what happened? Let's talk about that remix that you did where you cut the male vocals out and it was just the girl. Anyway, it was great. It was a great version, and I feel like even on the album, the last track was like that really awesome dance mix. Anyhow, that was Charm Farm. Again, it just kind of reminds me of like my early clubbing days, and I just love that song still. And recently, I watched this like music channel called Vivo, and I'll just have it on the sideline sometimes when I'm home. And it recently came on, like random, like it was on the 90s channel. And it was just playing 90s music, and it was this late hour. It's like 90s dance music. And it came on, and I was like, wow, I'd never seen the video. I mean, I almost didn't even watch it now because I talked through the whole thing. But it was him, you know, the guy, he's kind of like on the CD. And it was just good. It just brought it back. So I thought I'd share that with you. I hope you look into Charm Farm. There's some really great remixes of Superstar. Richard Humpty Vision and Lomar. I believe there's one. And there's also this like really dark one that I kind of liked. And it was also 90s and kind of grungy. So I was a little bit dark and I was a little bit club as I was in my teens. So anyway, I hope you like this. Thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you. I mean, Alexa, what time is it?
The current time is 7:54 p.m.
I am drinking coffee at 7:54 p.m. Like, that's crazy. I work tomorrow. Why? Why am I doing that? Anyway. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. And for exclusive content, please follow my Patreon page. Link in the bio. So the reason I created a Patreon account was because I kept on getting blocked from with all of the video footage that I was showing, and I was doing all these interesting things to like try to edit the videos so that they weren't being, I guess they use like an AI type of app and it scans the video, and if anything for a certain amount of time is on there where it's copyrighted, it flags it. So it was just a bummer. Like, I would, for every video I post out, I would have to edit it at least a second time, or it just wouldn't be posted. Like, they would, you know, I think I posted 12 videos last year and only 6 of them made it up. So Patreon allows me to post unedited, full-on, copyrighted stuff, whether it's media or whatever. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to share, you know, stories and topics with you. And so if you subscribe to my Patreon, you'll get this unedited exclusive stuff. It may be something you like. You never know. I'm still going to be posting on YouTube, but I'll have a lot less post. But I'm going to try to get away with whatever I can get away with. Like, that's the idea. So follow my Patreon account. It's going to be really, really good. Like, I'm still working on it, but it's going to be great.